All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there onto this life foreigners. From the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Not only our brothers are edified through the spirit. And I was discussing this with with Amun Gabar, who was talking about this, well, since yesterday, right? It was another person that brought it up. But as you can clearly see in the background right there of this guy, second couple times Valhalla out of all things, right? Um, as you can clearly see in the background is a whole bunch of Negroes running around with masses in their faces. And according to what he's saying that they have started already. Jake is looting. But it was something that somebody else had said something earlier. It's the same thing. Ain't nothing new. And is the fact that AI, artificial intelligence, is what's showing fraudulent news. There's a lot of clips that we be seeing on AI. Sometimes I use them, especially when they're talking about the New World Order, and people. You have one that's circulating amongst us, and the government automatically has showed like gave people the option, like, look, you're gonna in order to eat, you're gonna have to take this chip. And the lady said, oh, I'm just quoting it because that was not the purpose of the show, but she said, "Oh, they're making us choose." So somebody, obviously somebody built that. Well, the same thing goes for this all this shit that you're seeing that there's a potential riot, all right, or potential looting. Sorry. So the scripture says, if it was possible that they would deceive the very elect, right? So there's a lot of deception out there. That's why a lot of things of AI, especially was a couple weeks ago. Damn, maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I don't know. So much stuff going on. You had a AI video of Tupac, Bob Marley, Biggie, all the dead icons, and they was getting together. They having a good time, playing bowling, and Mr. Rogers opened the door to Tupac. It's like, oh, you're my favorite rapper. You have Michael Jackson. So you have all these things, and it looks damn near real. So these mother effers are going to use fraudulent picture in order to deem you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, mainly you Negroes, as chaotic beings. All right, but like I said, this is not the premise of the show. But I want to let this man play. I'm gonna let this man play and let him say what he's gonna say, because the things that he's gonna say, we've been saying it, and you can clearly see obvious the U.S. government is behind all of this, and this is their desire. All right, let's go.
In Oregon, that's like 1/4 of what our grocery costs are.
Fair use, fair use. I'm just using this for educational purpose. It's nothing against this guy, just information that he gave, because it's kind of hitting, kind of a point.
Right, so let me give you my opinion up front on this before we jump into the massive consequences we're about to see for America and our local communities. Okay, you're going to see a lot of people say again that these people are lazy, they're freeloaders, they're just living off the system, they should get out and get a job. Right now, that is definitely true for a lot of people who are on SNAP benefits. However, conversely, it's also not true for a ton of people who are on SNAP benefits.
And what he just said is absolutely true. Now, stated that too. Who's the picture? Who is the face of welfare? A so-called black woman with many kids, right? That's been like that since I believe in the 70s. They use a black woman as a face, and she said that she kept on doing it to keep getting benefits and so forth. So automatically, you have a campaign. If there's a mascot for something, a movement, you already have the face of that. Bomb. So then you dumbass Negroes, a lot of you women, women are stupid anyway. Besides, several weeks ago, prior to this thing going down, And all of them been saying the same thing. What was that same thing? That same thing was what? I get mad food stamps, and why should I work? And that to the third. So here it is. You have you confessing. That's why this whole internet is entrapment. This is how they entrap you. Okay, so boom. So now that's more face. But come to find out, really the real face of welfare are poor white Americans. All right, they are the ones that take most of the welfare, and the small hatters as well. They do the same thing. So automatically, there was another post. I hate when it is what it is. There was a post of I guess he was a congressman. I don't know if that's the same thing he was talking about. And in that post was basically saying we got to stop feeding these. Well, he's gonna say, hold on.
Who are people who are working full-time jobs, including service members up to the rank of E6 at times.
All right, so boom, there's step one, E6 ranking, military. For E6, which in the Navy that's a first class petty officer, I believe that would be like a first class sergeant, and they make pretty much good money. But if they're on welfare, something ain't right. Something's not right. And the other thing, also with the big, bad, terrible bill, I keep remixing it. Veterans are not longer going to get welfare. You're a fucking vet. Here it is. You put your life on the line, which the scripture tells you that. This is an all-out assault on the undesirables of society. They'll use you and they'll abuse you and they throw you to the side. All right. Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffer poverty. So if a man of war suffers poverty, which makes absolutely no sense. If anything, they should have any opportunity for anybody that's served. All right. And yes, if it includes a free meal, then there would be you have to show some form of loyalty. But this society is so sick, and Esau don't give a damn about nobody. All right, he don't. It says a man of understanding that have not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepareth such in one for the sword. So all you people, oh, that's kind of heavy. I'm thinking about it now. That's kind of heavy. All you Jakes out there that turn your back on this truth, you're dead. Anyway, let him say.
Can qualify for food stamp benefits. This actually demonstrates a much, much larger problem than people realize. The fact that we have 1 in 6 people qualifying for food stamps, 40 plus million Americans, is a testament to how shitty this economy actually is. Prices have gone up for the last 6 years at an insane inflation rate. Wages have basically not gone up at all, and that continues to work on that path, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. And then let me say this, as an America First person, the way I look at this, are there a ton of freeloaders off the system? Yes, but guess what? You know who the biggest beneficiary to SNAP benefits and food stamps are? Is children. So I'm not the type of American that's...
Which he's 100% right. No matter what class or what race, it's the children that are going to suffer the most. They don't give a shit about nobody. Deuteronomy 24 and 14. Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, neither he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates. And this is the law. You're not supposed to oppress the poor. But this society that's what they do. Proverbs 22:22. Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. And this man has created a system to oppress the poor and not aid the poor when they're in need. All right. The poor is just a throwaway. Sirach 4 and 5. I want to go to the point. Matter of fact, it says, my son, my son, defraud not the poor of his living. Make not the needy eyes to wait long. Oh, that's another thing I was watching today. It was a particular video. I might do a separate video on that one. Trying to make this short, but the video was basic upon the 25 our grandparents who 25 or whatever, they had a house, or my grandparents didn't, but anybody that generation who had substance, who had lived so-called American dream, and doing the comparisons from a 25-year-old back then in the 1920s and so forth to now, is impossible for that same age group to have anything. So they're defrauding you, and you openly agree with them by how they treat others. So all of these people are guilty of that. All right. And it says, make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. And that's what they're doing. They're making fun. They're making fun. Matter of fact, if I could find that post, I think I posted it up too. If I go over, I don't want to go over. I did shorts. How you do this again? Let me see something. Aha, post. I'm new to this. I think it was a post that I was supposed to put, but let me see. I find our brother had put it up. Well, if I could find it real quick. Yeah, look. So the face of poverty. And this is one of the statistics, shows you what whites 35%, non-Hispanic, are more in welfare than anybody else. How you like that? These bastards. There's a post. Oh man. My issue is I don't know how to use it. But anywho, if I can't find it, it is what it is. But basically, it was like a congressman saying, basically, like F everybody that's on EBT or something like that. We shouldn't have to take care of them. And Apostle Tahar, I remember he said it Saturday. The U.S. economy, people that use EBT brings in $9 billion in the U.S. economy. So basically, you make the economy is boomed when people use that particular thing. So why are they cutting it off? Because they don't give a damn about people. All right. Okay. It's not. I don't know. I don't know where it's at. Slovakia, but it is what it is. Oh, maybe I put in one of the chats. Let me not do that. Go back to this real quick, and it says, verse 3, and add not more trouble into the heart that is vexed. Defer not to give him that is in need. Reject not the supplication of the affliction, neither turn away the face from a poor man. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him no occasion to curse thee. For if he curseth thee in bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him. So they're falling in the trap of their own doing, their own destruction. All right. The Lord's going to hear the prayers of his people. Since you want to play that game, the two could play that game. And the last time the Lord really settled a situation with people when it was crying unto him like that, is the children of Israel in Egypt. So this man's gonna have to pay for that. Oh, read down. Now, verse 9. Deliver him that suffer wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment. Scripture also tell you about the alms. It also tell you not to hold back. So this man deliberately holding back. So for what? So he could be more of a cruel oppressor. So that's why we call him the devil. Last scripture, Isaiah 32 and 6, I believe it is. Yep. The vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and shall cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The the instrument also of the true are of evil, and devices, wicked devices, to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. So the whole thing is to destroy the poor. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.